No, shoot! No, shoot! Did you see it? Where did it go? Get him! I gotcha! Can't hide from me! Humans! Kill you! Another! Here! I see him! I lost him! Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Not here. Need help. Die, devil. Help me. Let's go. What's this? Can't find him. Who's next? See him? See him? I get it. Wait a minute. Who's the man? I see one. I lost it. Stop shooting me!
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm coming! Look!
It's you.
Did we get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
No!
Big one. Alright, come on.
This way! This way!
Alright. Oh, yeah.
You want some of this? Come on! Over there!
Yeah. It's you.
Not here!
Alright.
He's hurt! Look! Enemy! More! Help! See it? See it? Get him! Right behind you! Is it dead? Where did it go? Enemy! Get me up! I'm with you! Very quiet now. Oh, there! They're coming! Get it? Back up! Did you see it?
Alright, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. That's it. Big one. Yeah. It's you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright, come on. Big one.
Cover me. I'm with you. It's